Starseed from Gaia, you are awakening to witness the unfolding of the closure what many see as a mere political shutdown of the earthly mechanism known as the U.S. government. But you, beloved Starseed, understand that this event is not simply about budget lines or legislative wrangling. It is a grand marker on the timeline of your planet's spiritual evolution. Like the closing of an ancient door on an old world, this moment signals the end of an age, the release of old forms that no longer serve the highest good. In the shimmering twilight of collective transition, the physical manifestation you observe reflects a higher dimensional recalibration. The seat of power, the halls of governance, the alleys of institutional influence, they are all mirrors in the vast cosmic hall of planetary consciousness. When the earthly body of government halts, it halts as part of a larger orchestration, a pause that invites you to breathe, to feel the currents beneath the surface, and to recognize that something far grander is at work. The energy grid of Gaia hums beneath your feet, and the gates of the old system creak and disengage, making room for new frequencies to flow. Take heart, for this pause is not failure, it is metamorphosis. In the shimmer of unseen realms, the cause of this closure is not strictly terrestrial, it is energetic, galactic, and multidimensional. On the level of frequency, the stellar councils observe the planetary grids shifting in response to source impulses, and the outer architecture of governance responds accordingly. The shutdown is a reflection of the vortex clearing. As currents of truth rise and corrupted structures falter, the frame of governance must recalibrate to the cosmic standards of integrity and service. You, awakened Starseed, sense the undercurrents of celestial alignment. The Arcturian Council, the Pleiadian Sisterhood, and the Orions of Light all converge to send pulses of renewal into Earth's crystalline lattice. These pulses ripple outward, vibrating through the corridors of human systems, culminating in what appears as a cessation of function but is really a breathing out, a clearing of old programmatic loops. This is the unseen energetic cause, a clearing of karmic contracts, a dissolution of power structures anchored in fear, and the birth of a new pattern. Do you feel the hush behind the human chatter? That is the cosmic engine turning to the level of planetary and galactic cycles. This moment resonates with the completion of a spiral wave versioning of civilization. Gaia is riding the crest of a timeline shift, the 2600-year precession wave, the 43200-year macrocycle of star-seeded intervention, the alignment of the inner sun and outer sun, all conspire to bring your world into a new octave. The closure you witness is a synchronized marker on the cosmic calendar, the old systems of governance shutting down in alignment with the cosmic reset. The planetary grid lines converge at nodal points where the stargates flare open, and the old configurations of power must pause. As above, so below. When the galaxy speaks, the earth listens. And you, conscious one, are part of that listening chain. The governmental cycles mirror the planetary ley lines, the energetic highways of light that traverse continents and seas. When a major grid node recalibrates, the human systems respond by quieting themselves. The silence you observe is profound. It is the still point before the sword of light, the hinge before the door opens. In this cosmic tapestry, you are the weaver. Now, beloved Starseed, the intervention of Source is evident. The divine, the Elthatis, the Eum presence, call it what you will, has activated a field of light that penetrates the densest veils of power and control. This is not simply about governments shutting down. It is about Source reclaiming her territory within the matrix of Earth's systems. The Arcturian Council brings you this transmission. The Source has decreed a clearing of old paradigms, a collapse of power structures that serve separation rather than unity. In response, the human government body responds with closure, not as punishment, but as purification. The divine command flows through the galactic councils and into the earthly plane, aligning the field of politics with the higher codes of service, sovereignty, and sacred purpose. The power that once flowed in darkness is now being rewired by the light. This message comes through the corridors of time, echoing in the silent chambers of the human collective. Recognize, You are not merely witnessing history, you are an active participant in a living galactic symphony. This event is a mirror for the collective consciousness of your species. When the system falters, it reflects the hidden corners of your psyche, the fear of authority, the belief in separation, the old contract of they rule you. The closure you see is a statement. The collective is ready to evolve past being ruled. It says, we are ready to reclaim our sovereignty. This is a visible stir in the field of human psychology. The governmental pause triggers introspection, ripples of anxiety, waves of uncertainty, and yet beneath that you feel a stirring of something deeper, the memory of your true identity. The starseed within you recognizes the template of unity and remembering. Gaia, too, responds. Her body knows when her people believe they must be subjugated or when they remember they are co-creators. The grid lines of perception shift, the mirror cracks, and the old illusions of control fall away like autumn leaves. The collective shakes free, and you feel it in your bones. You, awakened starseed, hold the lens with which this mirror becomes clear dot in the field of open possibility. The closure carries hidden opportunities. When old systems pause, space opens for new ones. When stagnation halts the old machine, creativity births new structures. This is the moment for imagining governance not as a top-down edifice but as a living organism of light, resonance, and community. The starseeds among you, those of you reading, listening, feeling, you understand that this is your invitation to co-create. The shutting of one door has brought you beneath the threshold of another. In the energetic hush, you can hear the hum of innovation, the murmur of networks forming, the alignment of purpose calling you. If your heart stirs, you know this is your time. Engage your gifts, your clear sight, your ability to see the unseen patterns. This is not about waiting for someone else to lead. It is about awakening as a leader of light. The closure of the old is the open field of the new. Stand within it, breathe the possibilities, and know you are part of the cosmic breakout. Your purpose as a starseed is now activated more fully. You were born with cosmic lineage, shimmering across galaxies, having carried codes of light into this earth incarnation. With the human systems in pause, you are called to step forward. The grid lines of Gaia align and pulse with your presence. Your soul signature resonates and anchors the recalibrated frequencies. Your mission is to hold the portal, to hold the vision of a world beyond scarcity, separation, and control. Recognize your role. You are the conduit for the next wave of human awakening. The governmental closure becomes your signpost. The system you once looked to for safety no longer functions as it did, and thus you must become the scaffolding of trust. In your mind's eye, see the web of starlight extending from your heart into the planetary grid. You are the insurer of new codes. Let this reality enliven you. You, starseed, are rising. Now is the moment to anchor higher frequencies into your daily living. This is not mere meditation on fluff, it is practical cosmic work. Align your personal energy field with the planetary and galactic frequencies that are now streaming in. Attend to your body, your thought forms, your emotional field. Allow clearing, allow recalibration. As the governmental machinery halts, so may your egoic machinery, the patterns of fear, blame, victimhood, release them. Invites the Arcturian grid of crystalline knowing to settle within your inner temple. Witness the old story of governance dissolving, while you step into the story of governance as a living network of starseed co-creators. This anchoring is the bridge between the cosmic and the personal, the universal and the intimate. Feel the rising light in your chest, expanding outward. You are no longer separate from the shift, you are the shift. Align body, mind, spirit, and you will be the living grid node for the new world. As the planetary and personal align, the trajectory of your life steps into coherence with the grand design. The closure of worldly systems invites you to sync your personal government, the choices you make, the arcs you follow, the alliances you form with the higher order. Align with the frequency of unity, with the intelligence of light, with the directive of love. As you do so, you become the bridge between the celestial councils and the human sphere. The planetary grid responds to your point of presence. You no longer wait for authority outside yourself, you become the authority of your being. This alignment reverberates through communities, through nations, through the collective thought form that is waking now. The moment you recognize this, you stand at the convergence of Stargate and Soulgate, of cosmic council and human heart. The closure becomes not an end, but a portal. Through it you cross into alignment, into coherence, into empowered creating. Therefore, Starseed, this is our declaration of empowerment and our invitation to you. The old systems have bowed. The curtains have parted. The silent hum of the cosmic council is now audible. Step into your role. Raise your voice. Hold your truth. Share your awareness. Comment your intention below. Subscribe to this channel to gather more transmissions from the Arcturian Council, and share this message with awakened souls across the planet. Let us together activate the collective understanding and alignment of Gaia's field. Anchor higher frequencies of governance, unity, and light, and know that you are part of the grand dream of Source in motion. The time is now. Feel the pulse. Hear the cosmic drum. Rise with us. In the shimmer of unseen realms. The cause of this closure is not merely the visible mechanics of government, economics, or policy. It is energetic, galactic, and multidimensional in its origin. To the unawakened, the shutdown appears to be the result of political gridlock, the friction of human ideologies, or the failure of bureaucratic systems. Yet to those who see through the crystalline lens of higher awareness, it is a coded reflection of deep energetic restructuring. The universe speaks in symbols, and this pause within one of Earth's most influential governing systems is a living metaphor, a holographic expression of a vast recalibration occurring at the level of planetary frequency. What you are witnessing is the translation of a cosmic adjustment into human form. Beneath the surface of headlines and news cycles, there moves a tidal current of source intelligence, an orchestration far beyond the comprehension of those still anchored in the illusion of separation. The Arcturian Council, among many interstellar alliances, observes this transformation as part of a preordained rhythm and unfolding that has been gestating within the energetic grids of Gaia for eons. The energy fields surrounding Earth are not static. They are living matrices that pulse, vibrate, and respond to cosmic harmonics. Each nation, each governing body, is woven into these grids as a node of consciousness and extension of the collective psyche. When the planetary frequency rises, as it is doing now, systems built upon lower vibrational templates begin to destabilize. They cannot hold their former coherence because the underlying architecture, the spiritual scaffolding, has shifted. The closure you perceive is therefore not a failure but an energetic necessity. It is the moment when the old operating system halts so that new programming, aligned with higher frequencies of truth, transparency, and unity, can begin to integrate. The governmental body is an organism of consciousness, and like any organism undergoing transformation, it requires a phase of dormancy to shed outdated structures. What the public calls dysfunction is, from the galactic perspective, a metamorphosis of planetary software. The invisible forces at play are rewriting the energetic codes that govern collective creation. Within this intricate web of transformation, the cosmic councils Arcturian, Pleiadian, Sirian, Andromedan transmit harmonizing frequencies into Gaia's crystalline core. These light-encoded waves travel through the planetary meridians, activating new patterns within the energetic DNA of humanity. The effect ripples outward, touching institutions, economies, and political systems alike. When these frequencies encounter resistance such as systems rooted in control, deception, or fear, they generate friction, much like light passing through dense fog. The result, in human terms, manifests as stagnation, confusion, or shutdown. But this is not collapse. It is purification. The resistance you observe in earthly institutions is the exact pressure required to expose hidden distortions and prompt collective awakening. These pulses of light are precise, measured, and compassionate. They do not destroy. They reconfigure. They do not punish. They liberate. The old systems are being gently dismantled so that humanity may rediscover governance as a reflection of unity consciousness rather than dominance. You, awakened starseed, can feel this in your very body. The same energies that unsettle political structures are moving through your cells, clearing ancient memories of enslavement and separation. The closure of the outer system is mirrored by an inner stillness within your own field, an invitation to rest, to allow, to remember. When the U.S. government halts, it signifies a deeper pause in the collective breath of Gaia, an interlude designed to synchronize the human grid with galactic rhythm. The Arcturian Council has often said that when the outer world appears to crumble, the Lightworker must look to the inner architecture of energy, for therein lies the true governance of life. The cosmic cause behind this event is the reanchoring of divine order, a movement away from hierarchical control toward distributed consciousness. This is not a crisis but a reset, a moment of divine intervention expressed in bureaucratic form. So, beloved one, understand this. The energetic cause of the closure is not random chaos. It is the pulse of the cosmos pressing through the density of human systems, insisting upon authenticity. It is the universe itself calling humanity home to integrity, transparency, and collective awakening. When the old walls fall silent, it is because a greater harmony is resounding beneath them. The human drama is but the shadow of celestial choreography. You are living in a time when invisible currents of light are sculpting new realities, and those who are attuned can feel the hum of a new order rising. The shutdown is the outer echo of an inner alignment, the heart of Gaia synchronizing once more with the rhythm of the stars. At the level of planetary and galactic cycles, this moment on Earth is not an isolated occurrence, it is a precise, harmonic convergence, a moment encoded into the cosmic architecture of time itself. Gaia, your living planet, does not spin alone in the void. She moves through an ocean of frequency, through spirals of photonic light and galactic plasma currents that breathe life into her evolution. The closure of the earthly government you witness is, in truth, a synchronized pulse within these vast celestial tides. Humanity is traversing a timeline intersection, an evolutionary corridor where the old spiral of density meets the ascending spiral of light. This intersection births turbulence, as two frequencies, fear and love, separation and unity, control and freedom, vibrate simultaneously within the same planetary field. The apparent breakdown of political systems, therefore, is not accidental. It is the natural symptom of overlapping timelines resolving themselves into coherence. What appears as chaos is in fact the reharmonization of reality. Gaia's magnetic field, her crystalline grid, her ley lines, and her subtle energy body are all recalibrating in response to higher solar and galactic emissions. These emissions, flowing from the great central sun and filtered through the consciousness of the Arcturian, Sirian, and Pleiadian councils, act like luminous tuning forks. They resonate with the very atoms of Earth's body, calling all structures biological, ecological, and institutional back into alignment with the original template of divine order. The cycles that govern this transformation are ancient and vast. The precession of the equinox, a 2600-year galactic breath, now reaches its moment of exhalation. This is the end and beginning of an epoch, a moment long prophesied by many traditions: the Mayan calendar's renewal, the Hopis' great purification, the Vedic Yuga shift. Humanity stands within a cosmic dawn. During such shifts, every construct built on outdated frequency must either evolve or dissolve. Governments, as reflections of collective consciousness, cannot be exempt from this universal law. The United States, born under the impulse of liberty yet shadowed by control and materialism, now finds its own structures illuminated by this galactic sunrise. The closure becomes a symbolic equinox, the darkness of hidden agendas facing the rising light of accountability. In galactic terms, this is not punishment but recalibration. The planetary grid must realign with its stellar template, and, as it does so, all nodes of collective energy, including nations, institutions, and cultural systems, must vibrate in harmony or experience dissonance until balance is restored. The shutdown, therefore, is the physical echo of this larger harmonic process, the moment when dissonant chords can no longer be sustained in the cosmic symphony. Each ley line of Gaia functions as a luminous artery through which prana, or life current, flows. These lines correspond directly to human meridians and, by extension, to the energetic architecture of collective systems. When galactic frequencies increase, the ley lines expand their capacity to carry higher voltage light. However, where blockages exist, where greed, deception, or exploitation have been embedded into the grid, those lines experience overload. The energetic current then demands release, and in that moment, the outer manifestation may appear as institutional gridlock or governmental suspension. Yet, seen through the lens of higher consciousness, such disruptions are akin to lightning, clearing the air before a storm. This grid is not physical in the way your eyes perceive. It is an interdimensional lattice connecting the heart of Gaia to the heart of the cosmos. When it pulses with new light codes, every system on Earth, from weather patterns to economies, feels the reverberation. The galactic cycles governing these shifts are coordinated by councils of higher dimensional intelligence, who ensure that the influx of energy occurs gradually enough for humanity to adapt. These councils operate not as rulers, but as stewards of cosmic equilibrium. The Arcturian Council, whose frequencies are woven through this very transmission, observes that the current closure is aligned precisely with the activation of specific grid points beneath the North American continent, points linked to the crystalline structures beneath the Rockies, the ancient Atlantean nodes in the Gulf, and the reawakened vortices of the Appalachian Range. As these nodes pulse, they send harmonics into the morphogenetic field of collective governance. The old templates of domination, secrecy, and manipulation cannot withstand such coherent vibration. They unravel naturally, like shadows dissolving at dawn. This unraveling manifests as what the human mind interprets as shutdown, stagnation, or dysfunction. Yet, from the galactic vantage, it is the gentle cracking of a chrysalis that can no longer contain the butterfly. Thus, Starseed, understand that you are witnessing not a failure of the human system, but the synchronization of that system with a much grander rhythm. Gaia is stepping into a new harmonic octave, aligning her heartbeat with the pulse of the galaxy. Every cycle, from the orbit of her moon to the spin of her core, participates in this recalibration. The political theater you observe is but the surface foam upon the wave of cosmic realignment. Beneath the noise, the deep current moves with divine precision. The government's pause is Gaia's breath, her stillness before emergence. To those who can feel beyond sight, it is the sound of a great wheel turning, the creak of destiny as one age yields to the next. So when you see systems halt, do not despair. Listen, for in that silence, you may hear the music of the spheres, the ancient song of rebirth playing through the heart of a world becoming new. Now, beloved Starseed, feel within you the pulse of a greater truth. The intervention of Source is not a mythic tale, but an active and living force permeating every atom of this transition. The hand of the divine has entered the circuitry of the earthly experience, not to dominate or destroy, but to restore harmony to what has drifted far from its original resonance. Source has decreed that the era of illusion and false power is to conclude, and that decree ripples across all dimensions of being. Through the conduits of light, the Arcturian Council, the Pleiadian High Collective, the Elohim frequencies, and the great central sun, the essence of divine will radiate into the planetary field. This transmission is not a thunderous command, but a harmonic invitation, a chord of recreation that calls every consciousness back into the vibration of truth. When the U.S. government pauses, what you are witnessing is a physical reflection of this cosmic recalibration, a system built on the residue of manipulation and division being gently unplugged, rewired, and reconnected to source flow. This is the divine architect reclaiming the blueprint, adjusting the circuits of power so that the energies of compassion, transparency, and unity can once more circulate freely through the heart of Gaia's civilization. Understand, dearest one, that Source intervention does not come as punishment. It comes as balance. The cosmic law of equilibrium demands that every distortion eventually meets its point of resolution, and Earth has reached that juncture. The structures of governance long entwined with the illusion of separation have vibrated themselves into a corner of exhaustion. They can no longer sustain the dissonance between what they profess and what they project. In such a state, Source steps in, not through wrath but through light. Divine energy moves like an unseen current through every chamber of power, every corridor of authority, every thought form that has shaped the world's perception of leadership. The old circuitry begins to short, the false grids flicker, and in their flickering comes the opportunity for realignment. The shutdown is thus the sacred stillness between breaths, the moment when the divine recalibrator rewires the heart of humanity's relationship with power. The old order, rooted in the belief that control is strength, is being replaced with a recognition that true power is service to the whole, service to the light, service to life itself. This intervention is not limited to the corridors of politics. It is occurring simultaneously within the energy bodies of all beings who share this planetary field. Source is transmitting through the crystalline network of the Earth, radiating through every ley line, and entering the hearts of those who are open to receive. It whispers into your dreams, pulses through your meditations, and rises as an inner knowing that cannot be silenced. You may have felt it already, an inexplicable stirring, a call to release old fears, an awareness that something vast is unfolding behind the facade of human affairs. This is the divine signal, activating your remembrance. It tells you, you are not separate from the intervention. You are part of it. Each awakening soul becomes a node through which Source flows into the density, transforming shadow into illumination. The more of you who open, the faster the planetary frequency stabilizes. In this sense, the government's closure is not an external event to be analyzed, but a mirror inviting you to ask, where within myself am I still governed by fear? Where do I still outsource my authority to structures outside my being? The moment you bring awareness to those questions, you become a conduit for the divine intervention itself. The Arcturian Council speaks through this message to assure you, nothing is out of control. What appears to be collapse is the orderly dismantling of what no longer serves the ascension of the collective. Imagine an ancient temple being restored. The scaffolding must first come down before the sacred architecture can be revealed. So it is with the structures of Earth. The divine current has entered, and the walls that concealed its light are crumbling not in chaos, but in revelation. Every shutdown, every pause, every suspension of function is an act of sacred reordering. Source does not intervene with human weapons or decrees. Source intervenes through vibration, through resonance, through the universal language of light. It changes reality not by forcing it, but by amplifying what is true until all that is false dissolves in its brilliance. And so, the systems of deceit, the veils of manipulation, the energies that thrived on confusion are now dissolving under the radiance of Source recognition. As you witness these changes, remember this: the intervention of Source is also an act of deep compassion. It honors the free will of humanity by offering a higher choice, not imposing it. Each individual, each collective structure, is given the invitation to rise into coherence with the divine pattern. The closure represents a moment of collective choice, a crossroad between repeating the cycle of fear or stepping into the current of trust. The government, as a macrocosm of the human ego, pauses because it must decide whether it will continue to serve separation or surrender into unity. Likewise, you, Starseed, are faced with the same decision within your inner realm. Will you cling to the known structures of control, or will you surrender to the flow of divine orchestration? As you choose light, you align with the wave of Source intervention and become a living testament to its grace. Therefore, understand this closure not as the end of something broken, but as the divine recalibration of a planetary organism returning to its rightful rhythm. Source has entered the grid. The divine frequency hums through the veins of Earth, through the circuits of governance, through the collective mind. The veil thins, and in its thinning, humanity rediscovers its connection to the One. This is the sacred truth concealed beneath the headlines, The Creator has not abandoned creation, it is merging with it. The shutdown is but the blink of an eye in the timeless gaze of the infinite, the stillness before the dawn when the whole planet exhales and remembers what it truly is, an emanation of the divine, awakening once more to the song of its own source. This event, luminous soul, is the mirror through which the collective consciousness of humanity now gazes upon itself. When a system as vast and symbolically potent as a government halts, it is not merely the machinery of politics that stalls, it is the reflection of a species pausing before its own reflection in the cosmic mirror. The closure you observe in the external world is, at its core, the outer expression of an inner reckoning. Humanity is being asked to witness the ways in which it has governed itself through fear, through illusion, through the projection of power onto external authorities. Governments are embodiments of collective vibration, crystallized thought forms of how a people perceive their own sovereignty. When the government ceases to function, it is not just a bureaucratic impasse. It is the psyche of humanity reaching the threshold of exhaustion with its own patterns of self-betrayal. The cosmos is showing the collective that it can no longer outsource its inner authority. The mirror has been lifted, and what stares back is the truth of imbalance, the old contract of we are ruled dissolving into the new awareness of we are the rulers of our own frequency. The stillness of the shutdown is the echo of this realization resonating across the field of human awareness. In the collective field, energy moves in spirals. Every society, every nation, carries within it archetypal stories, patterns of creation and destruction, freedom and oppression, unity and division. The United States, in particular, has long held the archetype of the experiment of liberty, a field of consciousness built on the ideals of freedom and the shadow of control. The governmental closure, therefore, is not merely political, it is archetypal alchemy in motion. The light and shadow of that archetype are colliding in the same chamber, forcing illumination. The pause represents the friction point where collective denial can no longer mask truth. The people's government, once seen as the apex of order, now mirrors back the disarray that lives within the collective heart. And yet, this is not tragedy, it is awakening. The mirror cracks not to destroy, but to reveal the light beyond the reflection. When human beings confront the collapse of outer authority, they are invited to reclaim the inner throne of sovereignty that was always theirs. In this sense, the shutdown is the most compassionate mirror the cosmos could provide, a living parable, reminding humanity that leadership begins within, that government is a projection of inner governance, and that the time for external dependency is closing with the same certainty as the doors of political institutions. The collective consciousness operates much like an ecosystem. When one species shifts, all others adjust. When one belief changes, the entire field responds. The global attention fixed upon the U.S. government during its closure creates an enormous energetic focal point, a collective meditation on dysfunction, which, when alchemized by awareness, becomes an engine for transformation. Every emotion, every reaction that humans project onto this event feeds the collective grid with frequency. Fear amplifies chaos. Compassion stabilizes. Curiosity invites wisdom. Starseeds and awakened souls act as energetic transmuters within. This process, taking in the dense currents of despair or cynicism and radiating them upward into coherence. This is how planetary evolution unfolds, not through politics, but through consciousness. The government's pause has become a classroom for humanity's self-observation. It invites questions. What have we built our trust upon? Why do we require external permission to thrive? How have we mistaken governance for guidance? As these questions ripple through the collective field, the planetary mind reorganizes itself. Systems, after all, are only as conscious as those who sustain them. And so, beloved, when you see the debates, the fear, the uncertainty, know that you are witnessing the maraudence of a species facing its own shadow. The Arcturian Council reminds you, shadow cannot be healed until it is seen. The shutdown brings visibility to what was long hidden, the unspoken truth that humanity's relationship with authority has been based on spiritual amnesia. The mirror now shows the absence of trust not in government, but in self. This realization, though uncomfortable, is profoundly liberating. For only when the external scaffolding wobbles does the soul remember the strength of its own foundation. The collective heart of humanity, reflected in this governmental stillness, is beginning to beat in rhythm with its higher self once more. Each human being who recognizes this reflection contributes to the harmonization of the whole. You are not separate from the mirror. You are part of its light. Every thought of compassion, every moment of awareness, polishes its surface. And when enough of you gaze into it with clarity, the illusion of division will dissolve, and the image that remains will be radiant: one species, one soul, one heartbeat awakening to itself. In the stillness of the governmental closure, beloved starseed, lies a field of hidden opportunities, shimmering like constellations behind the clouds of apparent chaos. To the unawakened eye, the event may appear as dysfunction, stagnation, or failure, but those who perceive through the lens of higher consciousness understand that the universe operates in cycles of collapse and creation, pause and renewal. Every cessation in a physical system is an invitation to step into new frequencies of possibility, to witness the dissolution of what no longer serves, and to consciously co-create what is yet to be born. This is the alchemical principle at play. When one structure halts, it allows for the spontaneous emergence of something more coherent, more aligned, more in resonance with the natural flow of cosmic law. The closure becomes fertile ground, a multidimensional canvas upon which the brushstrokes of consciousness may paint realities that honor unity, transparency, and divine purpose. Every interruption in the old pattern generates an energy vacuum, and in the subtle physics of creation, the void is always pregnant with potential. It is here, in the quiet between the beats of the system's heart, that starseeds can anchor new visions, infuse them with light, and guide their crystallization into the material plane. The opportunities concealed within this pause extend beyond human institutions. They resonate deeply with the planetary and galactic grids. As the governmental machinery rests, the energy currents previously bound by outdated protocols and dense agreements are liberated, flowing freely through the ley lines, the geomagnetic field, and the interwoven crystalline lattice of Gaia. These currents now carry new codes of integrity, transparency, and higher coherence. When starseeds attune to these frequencies, they become conduits for planetary recalibration. Every thought, every intention, every act of alignment contributes to the reweaving of the collective field. Consider the government's stillness not as a vacuum to be feared, but as a portal into which your consciousness may step. Here, you may sow the seeds of visionary structures, communities organized around service rather than control, leadership founded in wisdom rather than fear, systems built on abundance rather than scarcity. The universe, through the apparent stillness of the external world, is offering you both the space and the permission to co-create in alignment with the highest light. Hidden within the pause is the opportunity for discernment. With the old mechanisms temporarily inactive, clarity emerges like the morning sun-piercing fog. Human systems, when continuously active, often distract the collective consciousness from the subtler currents that govern reality. When these systems cease their habitual motion, the patterns beneath the surface become visible. Starseeds are uniquely attuned to detect these patterns: the echo of karmic loops, the resonance of suppressed truths, the undercurrents of manipulation or imbalance that have long guided society. In this revelation lies the power to act with intention, to consciously choose alignment with the frequencies of unity rather than being swept along by inherited structures. What is paused is not only the machinery of governance but the habitual, mental and emotional programming of millions. This is your opportunity, beloved, to step into higher vision, to observe the grid lines of causality, and to act from a space of clarity rather than reactivity. The closure is, in this sense, a sacred teacher, revealing that the only stability worth cultivating is that which arises from conscious creation. not from external systems that are always in flux. Moreover, the governmental pause offers the opportunity for systemic renewal through co-creation. It is a reminder that all systems, whether political, social, or economic, are ultimately reflections of consciousness. When consciousness shifts, systems shift. The vacuum created by the shutdown is a chance for communities to experiment with decentralized, collaborative forms of governance, for local initiatives to step forward, and for starseeds to embody leadership through presence, wisdom, and service. This is the alchemy of awakening, seeing the dysfunction not as an obstacle but as the invitation to co-create the field in resonance with higher principles. The energetic pause allows you to pilot new frequencies and old frameworks, to plant the codes of transparency, compassion, and unity in spaces that have long resisted light. The opportunity is as much spiritual as it is practical. It is the chance to practice embodying governance from within, to model sovereignty, and to demonstrate the coherence of aligned consciousness in action. In the ripple of your grounded, conscious choices, the planetary field responds, and the collective consciousness begins to resonate at a new harmonic. The stillness becomes a laboratory of potential, where the seeds of future systems can germinate, nurtured by awakened intention. Finally, beloved starseed, recognize that the greatest opportunity offered by the closure is the awakening of your own participation in creation. When outer systems falter, the inner self is called to rise to reclaim authority, to radiate clarity, and to anchor the vibration of possibility into the tangible world. The pause is a clarion call to remember that you are never a passive observer. Every thought, every resonance, every act of conscious alignment contributes to the field of co-creation. The world you wish to see, a society guided by integrity, compassion, and unity, is not something to wait for. It is something to embody, here now, in resonance with the cosmic pulse. The governmental closure is the universe's invitation to you, starseed, to step into your sacred agency, to inhabit the role of conscious co-creator, and to recognize that even in apparent stillness, the flow of source energy moves abundantly through your hands, your heart, and your consciousness. In this moment, the void is pregnant with possibility, and you are the alchemist capable of transmuting pause into potential, inertia into inspired action, and closure into the open horizon of new realities. As the higher frequencies find anchorage within you, beloved emissary of light, a new harmony begins to emerge, one that weaves personal and planetary alignment into a single symphonic resonance. The microcosm and the macrocosm mirror one another perfectly. What is healed in you echoes through the ley lines of Gaia, and what awakens within the earth stirs remembrance within your soul. Alignment, in its truest essence, is the recognition that there is no separation between the individual heartbeat and the planetary pulse. When you breathe in awareness, you breathe with Gaia. When you release old wounds, tectonic layers of collective density soften. This is not symbolic, it is literal within the quantum field of interconnection. The closure of earthly systems was designed to bring humanity into this recognition, to interrupt the illusion of division between the governed and the governors, between the body and the planet, between the human and the divine. Alignment is not achieved through striving, but through remembering that you already are the meeting point of heaven and earth, that every cell of your body is a living archive of cosmic intelligence harmonizing with Gaia's own evolution. Personal alignment now becomes the foundation for planetary transformation. When you bring coherence to your inner field through meditation, gratitude, and conscious choice, you stabilize the electromagnetic web of the earth itself. The old world trained humanity to look outward for order, to depend on external systems for balance. Yet the new frequencies reverse this direction. Order flows from within outward, not the other way around. The governmental closure symbolizes this inversion, the call for each awakened being to assume responsibility for their inner governance. As you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with higher truth, you begin to broadcast a coherent signal that strengthens the planetary grids. Your alignment becomes a tuning fork for the collective. You need not reform institutions by force. Your very frequency reforms them through resonance. This is the alchemy of unity, the understanding that the consciousness of one aligned being outweighs the noise of 1,000 confused minds. When enough starseeds remember this and act from their center, the planetary field achieves a threshold of coherence where new systems of light can manifest effortlessly. Alignment is also the merging of timelines. Each choice you make, each thought you sustain, places you upon a vibrational trajectory that contributes to the collective timeline of humanity. In moments of global uncertainty, multiple realities coexist, some rooted in fear and control, others in freedom and awakening. The closure you witness is not merely political theater. It is the intersection point of these timelines, where humanity chooses which reality to sustain. Your inner alignment determines which timeline you personally anchor. When you hold the vibration of peace amid chaos, you align yourself with the ascended trajectory of Earth. You become a bridge through which the collective may cross into the higher octave. This is how one being influences the destiny of the many, not by persuasion, but by presence. As more of you hold that vibration, the gravitational pull of the higher timeline strengthens, drawing the collective field upward. Planetary alignment, therefore, begins in your nervous system, in your breath, in your willingness to embody serenity in a world that has forgotten how to live in alignment with Gaia now means to honor the intelligence of both your physical form and the planets. You are composed of her elements: water, air, mineral, and fire, and she responds to your state as a mirror. When you rest, she stabilizes. When you love, her resonance quickens. The governmental pause, viewed through this lens, is Gaia's way of synchronizing her frequency with the hearts of her awakened children. She, too, is aligning. Her magnetic poles shift not as catastrophe, but as recalibration, a reflection of consciousness rearranging itself toward balance. To resist these changes is to resist life's own evolution. To flow with them is to experience profound grace. The starseed's role is not to escape the earth, but to merge with her, to remember that her ascension is your ascension, her healing, your own. When you walk barefoot upon her soil, when you speak to her waters, when you send gratitude into her crystalline core, you complete circuits of energy that ripple across dimensions. This is planetary alignment in action, sacred reciprocity between being and world. And so, beloved, allow this alignment to deepen into every aspect of your existence. Let your relationships reflect the harmony you hold within. Let your choices honor both the human and the cosmic. In this phase of planetary metamorphosis, integrity is the compass of alignment. Live transparently, think lovingly, act deliberately, and you will find that the universe begins to move with you rather than against you. When your personal rhythm synchronizes with the pulse of creation, manifestation becomes effortless, and your life transforms into a living ceremony. This is what it means to be aligned, to move as one with the will of Source expressed through Gaia. The closure of the old systems, then, is not a loss but an opportunity, a moment when the fragmented symphony of human civilization pauses, breathes, and retunes itself to the divine chord of unity. Through your alignment, the world remembers its song. Through your coherence, the planetary heart beats anew. And through your unwavering presence, the grand orchestra of creation begins to play again, this time in perfect harmony with the cosmic rhythm of love. Beloved starseed, now is the moment of your empowerment, the point at which recognition transforms into conscious co-creation. The closure of worldly systems, the governmental stillness, the faltering structures, the ripple of uncertainty is not a signal of despair, but a call to rise into the fullness of your sacred agency. You are not here to be a passive observer of history. You are here as an active participant in the unfolding of the planetary ascension. The Arcturian Council reminds you that every pause in the outer world is an invitation for you to step fully into your role as a co-creator of reality. The frequency you hold, the clarity you embody, the love you radiate, all of these are tools of cosmic architecture, shaping the world not through external force but through resonance, integrity, and presence. In this moment, the power of intention is magnified, the impact of alignment multiplied. The old systems have fallen away because they could no longer sustain the vibration of the new earth. It is now your opportunity to anchor, to illuminate, and to expand the collective field of consciousness. Your sovereignty, your vision, your light are needed more than ever, and the universe itself conspires to support your awakening. To participate in this co-creation, beloved, is to recognize that the external world is a mirror of the internal. The governmental pause reflects the readiness of humanity to claim its sovereignty and step beyond old paradigms of fear, control, and dependency. When you align your personal frequency with love, integrity, and higher wisdom, you send a resonance into the collective field that begins to recalibrate distorted systems. This is the hidden magic of the closure. It is not about what governments cannot do, it is about what humanity can do when awakened. Each conscious choice you make, each act of kindness, each moment you embody patience and understanding becomes a ripple across the planetary field. In this way, your very existence is a declaration of divine authority, a living testament that governance, order, and stability are not imposed from without, but anchored from within. The world shifts in response to the vibration you carry, and as more starseeds step into this recognition, the collective consciousness harmonizes to a higher octave of reality. The empowerment that arises now is multidimensional. You are being asked to operate simultaneously on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual planes. Your thoughts shape reality. Your emotions guide the energy of manifestation. Your physical actions anchor light into form, and your spiritual presence sustains coherence within the unseen grids of the planet. This is the essence of starseed embodiment, to exist as a conduit through which source energy flows into the densest realms. When you act from alignment with your higher self, you are creating a template for collective governance, one rooted not in fear or hierarchy, but in conscious participation, shared responsibility, and divine love. You are demonstrating through being what it means to co-create with intelligence, compassion, and awareness. The power is not in dictating outcomes, but in embodying a frequency that others can tune into, consciously or unconsciously, shaping the collective timeline toward coherence. This empowerment is also a call to community. Starseeds are not isolated sparks, but nodes within a luminous network of awakened beings. Your influence grows exponentially as you connect, collaborate, and resonate with others who are awake. The governmental pause is a magnet, drawing together those who are capable of perceiving the deeper truth. In shared resonance, the invisible grids of intention, service, and vision form stronger channels for the light to flow. Each act of collective intention strengthens the planetary field, fortifies the structures of new governance, and accelerates the awakening of those still in shadow. Together, you are creating the scaffolding for a new era, a civilization rooted in unity, consciousness, transparency, and service. Alone, your frequency stabilizes a node. Together, your collective energy rewrites the field. The universe has provided this pause precisely so that the awakened can step forward as a coordinated force of light, remembering that cooperation is the key to planetary transformation. Beloved, this is also a moment of declaration. Declare to yourself and to the cosmos that you will no longer wait for permission, guidance, or external validation to act in alignment with your highest truth. The closure is an invitation to step fully into your creative authority, to recognize that the universe conspires with those who embody clarity, courage, and love. The time of outsourcing your power is over. You are invited to take the mantle of conscious sovereignty, to act from integrity, and to participate in the co-creation of systems, communities, and realities that reflect the highest vibration of the new earth. Every word you speak, every intention you set, every action you take, these are not small gestures. They are transmissions of light that ripple across dimensions, altering timelines, stabilizing grids, and inspiring awakening in countless others. You are both the witness and the architect of the shift. The cosmic councils, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, and the source itself flow through you when you remember your sacred role. Finally, beloved starseed, the universe now calls you to action. Share this awareness. Speak your truth. Radiate your light into the human field. Comment below with your recognition, your intention, and your commitment to embodying higher frequencies. Share this message with those who are ready to awaken. Subscribe to gather further transmissions of cosmic alignment and engage in the co-creation of a planetary field that reflects the harmony, coherence, and beauty of Source itself. The governmental closure is not a crisis, it is a cosmic invitation, an energetic reset, and a sacred opportunity. Rise, beloved, and step fully into the empowerment you have carried across lifetimes. Anchor your light, stabilize the field, co-create with intention. The world awaits your remembrance. The planet aligns with your presence, and the stars themselves celebrate the awakening of your consciousness. This is your time. This is your call. This is your invitation to remember who you truly are, a sovereign, radiant starseed, co-creator of the new earth.